What's up, everyone? Crypto Kid first in the chat. All right. Hope you're doing great. Let me just set up everything for you guys. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate everybody comes in to join us into this fantastic project. First of all, let me just grab our little progress template that I have over here. So, on today's menu, as you guessed it, we're still continuing our chessboard project. And second, we got Soma. Someone so fast with the second. What's up, guys? Hope you have a fantastic week. And hope you'll have a fantastic weekend too. Thank you for coming, guys. Already appreciate everything that you get. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys the little progress that we have over here. By the way, guys, you're here back to back, and I appreciate every time you come in. See, you guys are punctual, getting there at the beginning and the end of the stream, and leaving some comments. I appreciate that. And yeah, really means a lot. You bet your way. All right, so let me show you guys what I have over here. So far we have done the king. So again, I need to invest in a webcam. Happy to learn every week with the master. Thank you very much. It hits it's this or working, so easy choice. Yeah, pretty much. I like the fact that I'm your entertainer. But you gotta get that money though. Unless you're paid not working. So. We have the king, 35mm, right here. We have the king, 75mm. Now I realize that the light is not helping me at all. What if I put it over here? Yeah, it's a bit better, but so far for you guys. And then we have the pawn, 75mm. Have the pawn, 35mm. Then we have the knight. We are still in the progress of printing the mount for the 75mm, but for the 35, it is complete and it looks badass. And unfortunate that the light is not working with us today. Let me see if I can just scooch my camera so it doesn't. It's still a mess in here in the office. See that we got some. Yeah, we grabbed a little bit more light. So yeah. There we go. Tonight. This badass mount. And lastly, this week, actually yesterday, we were able to print the bishop. So I'm just trying to get you close. Bishop, 35mm. And over here, the bishop, 75mm. Have his nice scepter and a morning star to protect the realm and being a messenger of the religion of Dwarf. There we go. Very nice. I really like the fact that the morning star was intact in the printing, and it's really pointy. It does tickle a little. And the scepter was really nice, and we even see the details of the scepter inside. So very nice. And today's we are working on the rook. Let me put this back where it was. So let me show you guys what we have so far. Nothing. No, we have some stuff over here. So that is our bishop, and that's just a pose of the bishop. But I want to show you guys the rook. So the rook, as you can see, it has just a temporary texture of stone. So the rook, I wanted to do like a statue instead of a person. So we're basing ourselves on the body that we already made, with the foliage that we made. I think it was week 2. Um, so that's the foliage of the rook. And the rest of it, I reused a little bit of stuff from other templates. Actually, no, it's all different. Oh, the chest plate, yeah. So the chest plate is the same as the bishop, but the fact that we're gonna add some textures on it and cracks, it'll look different. And in a way, it also looks like more religionless, religiously. I don't know. So the fact that the bishop is like a fighter and also disciple of religion, and the fact that this one is a statue, I feel like it kind of looks nice that both of them has the same armor, chest plate, but not the rest of the armor. So the way we're gonna go with this one is actually I'm gonna put it in pose, and afterwards I'm gonna do some damage on all the character itself. So it won't have specific damage on one part, but it might be on the chest, the shoulder guard and the arm, or it might be literally a part of the head that's cracked up, or on the face a little crack. So anything that we can convey the material of stone, we're gonna put it on it. But it's important to have everything merged together, because otherwise we'll still feel that it's one character wearing a stone armor. So that's why you have a texture of stone even on the skin over here. So even on the character we have a stone material, and it's just temporary because it does look just same guy with a stone character or a stone texture. But we're gonna adjust it. So here I'm just applying the same noise pattern that I have for everything, and in the end it'll look like a statue. So that's how it looks so far. Pretty happy on how it's going. But today's schedule, we're pretty much gonna work on the hammer. So if you remember with our little characters, they all have an element that has the ram. So the bishop over here, if we pick it up, we have the brace that has the ram logo on it. The king has shoulder pad, the chest plate, even the belt, and the crown has a ram. We have the pawn who has a shoulder pad. Then we have the knight who's literally riding a ram, and also have a ram on the shield and wearing a ram helmet. And then we have the bishop that I already mentioned. That's it. I think that's all. Yep, that's all. So this one, we're gonna put it on the mallet. Now I have some reference over here. Something like that. I'm aiming at something like that, but also I kind of stumble on this style, and I like the cleanliness of this one. So I think we're gonna go with a mix of both of them together. And I also found this one, which isn't a ram, but it's a face, and I was thinking maybe putting a face instead of the circle over here, but with both sides with this kind of ram style over here. So I think we're gonna have a nice mix of all of our reference together. Maybe something interesting for the handle like this could be nice. And yeah, some engraving could be cool. We can use one of these bandages instead of these ones. Now in the end, everything is going to be stone, so we don't need to change the texture as much, because we have to imagine that somebody engraved the stone itself with the hammer. Rain face man hammer rook. Yes sir, that's the name. So we're gonna call him Ram Face Man. Oh, that's difficult. Try to say it 3 times. Ram Face Man, Ram Face Man, Ram Face Man. Okay, it works. Okay. All right, so let's go with this one. So we're gonna start with this shape over here. You can see that it's a nice curve with no deformation. You have some wear and tear. That's fine, but there's no wonky shape of the sphere. So we're gonna go with a curve similar to that, and I think there's a way for me to show you something new. So let's put this on the side, and we're gonna have to flip it upside down for the moment. So what I'll do is I'll just move this one over here. And he's gonna put his hand like this to hold the mallet. A nice statue pose. So afterwards, I'm just gonna rotate the whole thing 100 degrees, 180 degrees. All right, so let's begin with this shape over here. So I think it's pretty easy to start with a cube. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, but I'm gonna simplify the cube itself. And we're gonna initialize a cube over here. Now, by default, it goes in the center of the world. We're gonna put it over here, and we're gonna work on symmetry over here. And then afterwards, once I put it on the right side of the mallet, I'll do another symmetry so we can see it on both sides. So let's start with this. I'm gonna hide the other ones. Actually, I just need this one just so I can have a rough ballpark of the size. All right, that's that. Okay. So let me just try to go and show you as I go along. I'm gonna remove these edges. Boing, boing, boing. And I'm gonna mask this part over here. I'm just gonna scooch it like that. I'm gonna go a bit closer. And I'm gonna go just with this corner over here. Reverse the mask. And it looks like this. I do sense a little curve over here, so it does curve a little bit. So let's add an edge loop over here. And we're just gonna grab these ones and scooch it slightly. Just a little thing. Yes, sir. Now, this one looks a bit too wide. There we go. Yep, I think it's good. Now here's the little trick I want to show you guys. Let's mirror and weld first. And I'm gonna inset this polygon over here. Gonna do the same on the other side. Actually, we don't even care about the right side. We're gonna mirror and weld. What's your stance on what's your stance on the current war in the Middle East? Oh, I don't like to go political in war, actually, in life. I'm actually not listening too much of the news right now. I do sympathize of all the injured and casualties that was happening in the war. That is happening in the war, actually, and all the massacres. So this is just the ugliest part of war that just terrible. It feels like, I don't want to curse, but it feels like shit, right? So I know my country was in civil war once, and like people have to move from their hometown to literally evade being killed. You work all these years to make your place comfortable, and then you have to leave because somebody made the decision that wasn't your own. Feel that's the saddest part of it. So many people that just didn't ask for this. But yeah. So here's my little trick I want to show you guys. So here, I'm gonna extrude this part, and I'm pressing Control so it doesn't connect with the square. What I'll do over here is I'll mask this part and then go on it. And what I'm gonna do afterwards is, I don't know if I have to flip it first, but let's try it. I'm gonna move it approximately where I want it to end. Right around here. Something like that. I'm just gonna scooch over here and scale it like so, really, really small. And what I'm gonna do is delete, actually I'm gonna extrude just a tad over here. I'm gonna delete this face and this face. And from here, I'm gonna go on the edge and press bridge, 2 holes. And we're gonna use spline, should be good. Click here and click here. And as you can see, I'm actually doing a arc. Like so. I'm gonna do it again so I just have a better angle. And oh, here we go. So if I go upwards, it reduces the resolution. If I go downwards, it upgrades. And if I go left and forward, it increases the arc or lowers the arc. Around here should be cool. I'm just gonna reduce to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 on this one, so let's just reduce once. It should be cool. Alright, so here, I'm just gonna go to QMesh, grab this little one and put it here so it kind of locks it. And from here, I'm gonna scale the edges, the edge loop complete, so that way I can manipulate and have the right size that I want for the horns. Here. Just gonna scale it up just a bit. I felt it was going. It's a bit too thin right now. There we go. And for this part, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select, and select this rectangle. There we go. I'm gonna select rectangle and Control Shift X to increase my selection, just until I have the base. And from here, I'm gonna polish by groups, so we can have it just a bit smoother, like so. I think I'm gonna do is scale this edge. No, scale. Just gonna slide it actually. I want to slide this one. Like that. Kind of looks similar. I think we're gonna have to manually move a bit some point over here. I don't know if you notice a little change in my voice. I have a little cough right now. But I'm right about healing. And I have my cough voice. I don't know about you, but I love my cough voice. Feels smooth, deep, low. I don't know if you guys watch animes, but in Naruto you have the character Pain, and I love doing his voice with this kind of voice. Watashi wa inakita. So yeah, kind of feels good. Alright, so here, let's move it over here. Let's see what if I polish by groups over here? No, yep. We're gonna go back and select this. Just want these ones. There we go. All right. And now from here, what we're gonna do is grab these edges and I'm gonna bevel them just a tad. If it allows me to. All right, cool. Let's go with this. Boom, 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 oh, boom, 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 boom. And now they're all separate. And what I'll do is I'll extrude inwards these ones. Actually, I think we're gonna extrude outwards the big ones. So over here, we're gonna go extrude and poly loop. Just gonna aim so that this line is on the horizontal view and not the vertical view. And we're just gonna click and scale just a bit, like so. Just gonna change the color. And if I just click on the other ones, it keeps the same distance. And here we go. So now we have that similar line that we have over here. And what's going to happen, and once we subdivide, it'll kind of soften. And I think it's going to look really, really nice. So here we'll mirror and weld, so we can have the same on the other side. Now I feel like this curve is a bit too tight. So let's try to adjust it. Gonna activate symmetry. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, because remember that this is a statue. Statues are made by workers and artists, and they do make mistakes. It's not perfect all the time. And actually, if it looks too perfect, it kind of looks wonky and it doesn't look realistic. Something like that. I think we're gonna go even further. Grabbing this part. In the meantime, write me in the chat if you guys have any plans on this weekend. Here it's a beautiful weekend right now. We have the sun coming out. I'm excited to see what you guys have in mind and what you guys has in plan for this weekend. Alright, so something like that. Like the curve is getting better right now. And here we're gonna go with groups by normal, crease by polygroup, and if we go to dynamic subdivision and we reduce the crease level around 2 and we go 4, you can see the difference over here. So we need to increase that crease. I think we're gonna go level 4 and we're gonna go with smoothness of 6. Yeah, I feel like we're getting close. I do feel like this needs to curve a bit more. Just gonna grab these 2 points over here. You have that wonky stuff happening, but you just need to move and it kind of recalculates what you did. That's just the dynamic subdivision doing some wonky stuff. Something like that, and on the back also. There we go. Now we do have this little line over here. Let's do that. It doesn't go on this side. So here we're gonna bevel partial. Actually, you know what? Bevel the whole thing. And from here I'm gonna stitch these 2 points and these 2 points. And now if I extrude this poly loop, actually I want to extrude just the poly group just a bit inwards, redo my crease. We have that line. It's a bit too wide right now. Let's see. Okay. It looks better, but we need to adjust this crease over here. This one over here, it doesn't crease. Okay. And I think the one on top, yep, the one on top is increasing also. What I'll do over here is I'll mask this part. I want to mask, oops, I want to mask this part over here. Revert the mask, there we go. And I'll just align it to that line over here. And shrink it down just a bit. Now if I do dynamic subdivision, it isn't too sharp, but we still have that nice line that we have on our reference. And I think we're good to go with this part over here. try to shape the little antlers a bit better. The little horns. There you go. Now if we bring back our hammer and I move this one right around here. What I'm gonna do is I think we're gonna extend, because I don't want horns colliding with each other. And mirror and weld. Oh. Gonna go over here, slide it here, like so. Mirror and weld. There we go. There you go. So we have the little two sides of the ram. The hammer is going to be huge, so I think we're going to have to adjust once we have the character and the weapon together. Well, that's that. Well, now then, we want a little circle over here with... Not sure if we're going to do the dwarf face on it. I think it'll look a bit weird. Oh, but something like that could be cool. Okay, let's just try some stuff. This one over here, we need to scale it up, reduce the thickness. Actually, these ones, let's put them a bit wider, and this one a bit wider also. Alright, I'm gonna steal this idea over here, the little arc that we have over here. Not really steal, but inspire myself with it. So over here, I'm gonna group by normals, and the zero mesh will keep in groups, half, and half again, half again, half again, one more. Yeah, let's do it manually. I don't want any of these. And not this one. There you go. Put this over here. Mirror and weld. And here, this one looks pretty simple enough. It's flat on the top. Oops. There you go. It's flat on the top and curvy on this part over here. And we have like this little block over here continuing the arc of our RAM, and I just noticed that the RAM are too high right now. So let's put them a bit lower. These ones go over here. And these ones go just a bit over here. We'll do something fancy over here for the handle, so don't worry about that. And I think just for our eyes, we're gonna have to increase the size of the handle just so it looks realistic. Let's add an edge loop over here. And let's move it just the bottom part so we can feel the curve. And you know what? I'm gonna grab the whole edge loop. Right. Just want to grab the edge loop, please. Reverse the group. There we go. There we go. And I want this one to be flat. There we go. So that way, if I add another edge loop over here, it keeps the top straight. Gonna add another edge loop over here. So we can feel the curve going in there. Something like that. And this part over here, just need to scale it up to move it up. There we go. From here, all we need to do is extrude these parts separately. I'm gonna extrude this part over here. Whoops. Gonna extrude this part over here. Sorry. And I'm gonna extrude this whole thing over here. So I'm gonna alt click this, and this. If I click again, now it doesn't look like it, but it's separate. So if I do groups by normal, you're gonna see different colors. And if I do crease by polygroups, dynamic, and we should be good. I think we're gonna increase the crease level a bit. You can feel the separation, but not enough. So I think we're gonna do the same kind of stuff we did on the horns. I'm gonna cancel everything over here, and I'm gonna do a bevel instead. Bevel. Like that. And from here, poly loop. Change the color, and this one. Here we go. Now if I go group, still different colors, crease, dynamic, and let's see what we have here. Yeah, way better. We just need to tweak that little crease over here. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna grab this part. No, what I want to, oh, that's interesting. Give me a second. Just gonna fix this. I'm gonna grab this color and apply it on this one. And mirror and weld. I feel like this one is connected. Oh no, it's a different blue. It doesn't look like it, but yeah, it's a different blue. Uncrease all and put this back again. There you go, looks better. And now on this side, I'm gonna select just the blue part. Control Shift X, Control Shift X again. I'm gonna mask this part, make everything pop again. And I'm just gonna move these ones. Wait. No, exactly. I want this one over here. And I want this one over here. Then we have one in the middle. No, we don't. So we should be good. There we go. The line is way better now. And we can smooth by groups. Now we can feel that little difference over here. Just gonna move this so with everything together. Looks pretty good, pretty good. We're just gonna have to move the pieces so it fits together. What I'll do here is transform and activate symmetry on the Z-axis. So that way I'm manipulating both sides on the X and the Z. So you'll see that I don't need to do both sides on the Z-axis now. Here we go. I think that's pretty good, pretty good. You know, what I'll do over here is I'll grab this little point over here with the move topology. And this one also. There we go. Try to make a little crack. There we go. All right. Now from here, I think we can go and work on the handle. It's not the end for the hammer part, but just so we can have a better visual. Let's work on the handle itself. So something interesting like this could be cool, where we have 3 parts of the handle, one for both of hands, a separate part, the bottom one and the top one. So yeah, let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's start with the bottom over here. I'm gonna grab my handle, I'm gonna duplicate it, and we're just gonna work on this one from now. But first, let me just grab a little sip of water. Oh, yeah. All right. I just realized that it was on my other screen. So yeah, we're working on this handle over here. So we have the 2 parts for the hand, the bottom part, top part, and a separate piece in the middle. So we're gonna work on that. Here we go. So as you can see over here, it goes smaller, larger, smaller, stays the same, then larger and larger. So it kind of is like 3 sections: the taper, the middle part, and the bottom. So let's treat it the same way. I'm sorry. I think what we're gonna do to make our life easier is to move these ones in the center of the world. like that. All right. So over here, I'm gonna put myself a bit close of the reference. Go around here. So here we need a edge loop right around here. So we got those 3 parts going on. Here, what I'll do is I'll just inset these ones over here. Oh. And I'll remove this one. Bada beep. So we have this part over here. Might have to scale this part over there on the top, but it's fine. And this one we need to extrude. Around here. Let's just do it again, but with Alt applied. Here we go. Now for the top, like I said, we need to scale it up. Like that. And we can see a little rim over here, so let's do the little rim. Let's do 2 edge loop, scale this one over here. And from here, bevel it. And we have our little rim. These ones over here, we just need to extrude 2 little edge loop. This one looks just a bit smaller than the top one. And this one over here, like so. We're gonna add a little edge loop over here, and I'm gonna bevel these 2 over here. Same on this side. Just gonna add these ones over here. And these ones, we're gonna treat them separately. We're just gonna add them afterwards. Now a cool little trick for this little rope texture. I have this braid over here. Kind of looks wonky alone, but if we go to curve tool, activate curve mode, and over here in the brush palette, we're going to go to modifiers and activate welds, crease, and that. So it should, if I'm not mistaken, yep. We just have to remove 3 parts. And now if I draw a little thing, you can see my little brush going along the curve. And what we can do over here is grab this one and click shift, and it's around the little the edge loop. Now it's too small, so let's increase our draw size and just click once. I think it's a bit too small again. I think something like that could be cool. And we just need to see it with the subdivision on. Here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide, I'm gonna separate this part, so split mask. And on this part over here, we're gonna add some edge loops. just so it keeps its shape a little bit better. I'm gonna add some over here, one over here, and one over here. And while we're at it, let's group by normals. I'm gonna change this one over here, grab this one, put it over here. Let's grab this one over here and apply it to all these ones. Grab this one. I think that should be cool. That should be cool. And oh, create another one over here. And apply it to these ones. Sorry, I'm not so much entertained. I'm just focused on getting this thing done. Now, if we look with the level of crease we have and we smooth it up, with our braid going over here, we're probably gonna have to scale it down like so, and we can inflate it like that. I kind of don't like this little bump that we have over here, so I'm just gonna move it forward over here. And here we go. You can actually even rotate it so we don't see it, and it looks smooth. And what we can do also, let's test it out. If we put it 100 degrees and we mirror and weld, not the best. So let's just keep it hidden for the moment. And I don't think anybody's gonna notice except you guys. All right, so that's that. Time to do these little tower thingies. I think we can find a easy way to do this, and it's gonna create a cube. Just gonna move it forward. All right, like so. Just gonna grab these ones over here and scale it up right around here. And this one over here goes up. Like that. I'm gonna grab the green face, go in the center of it. I'm gonna mask it first, and then show the rest of it. Revert my mask so I can only apply whatever I want on the green. I want to mask this part also. So let's do that again. Grab the green. Gonna do auto groups. Grab the turquoise now. Mask it. Show everything. Revert my mask. And here we go. So from here, I'm just gonna move it down the whole thing. And if my calculation are right, if I polygroup this part over here, and I go polish by groups once, it's not really much doing what I wanted to do, but let me see with dynamic on, and I do with a crease. Okay, we have a bit what I wanted. I think we just need to crease these parts over here. So let's change the color and crease. So it's getting closer to what we wanted. Just before that, I'm gonna make another edge loop right here. Yeah, that's better. Now I'm gonna want these ones over here. Just scooch them a bit like that. Mirror and weld. Like that. And I think we're gonna need again these two. What happens if we crease this part? Close, close, collapse, crease. Okay, we have something similar, but not quite. Just gonna move these ones over here. Yep, and I think we're gonna remove the crease of this one. And this one. All right, pretty similar, pretty similar. Let's just grab this little point over here. So yeah, I think we have that looks pretty similar. Now I think what I can do also is inset this blue part and extrude this part over here. Now if I crease again, there we go. Yeah, I'm so sorry. All right. All right, so this one over here, it's one done. So we're gonna put the center over here, and I'm just gonna duplicate. I'm gonna rotate 180 degrees. Duplicate again. Rotate 90 degrees. Duplicate again. Rotate 180 degrees. And from there, I'm just gonna merge them all. Merge down, and merge down. Duplicate the whole thing, and just turn it 45 degrees. And now I just need to merge down, and voila! How's that looking? Eh? Eh? Hmm? I think what we're gonna do is just grab my pen. I'm pretty sure that's pen. Yeah, that pen. I'm just gonna grab these ones over here. Just move it, the whole thing a bit lower. So that way when I do it, it looks a bit more like the reference. Alright, for that, so that's for the bottom part. Looks pretty cool. That's bottom part. Goes over here. And hammer. I'm gonna save also. All right. So now we can use the same thing for these ones also, and the same braid that we have. So let's just create our top part. So it's the whole thing over here. Duplicate. A little bit more thickness. Here you go. I do realize that the handle has moved. Let's move this part. I don't want any of these. But I want all of these, and let's just move the whole thing like that. Yep. Grab some water. Now, I know it's not so much of a dynamic voice that I have right now, but please let me know in the comments if there's anything I can do, if the music is too loud, or any suggestion that you have on the hammer. I'll take them, and let's see if we can put them on the Warhammer. Sorry. All right. Just give it us 1 second. All right, that's better. Okay, so here I'm gonna grab these ones and I'm gonna duplicate them just so I can have a better feel of where we can put them. And we can see they're shorter than these ones. Ooh, sorry. Yep. So I think they're pretty much good sitting here. We're just gonna align this one on the bottom part. The bottom part over here then goes down. So extrude polygroup. Go down over here. Grab this one. Switch it like this. And this part over here needs to go close to flush. This will go over here. While we're at it, we'll just create this one, and the rest goes inside. Like that, and these goes. These goes over here. I think we're gonna have to adjust these ones, so these go like this. Yep, exactly. We're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna extrude these ones. Just give it a different color. It doesn't look like it has an extrusion over here, but it does look like it has a little curve over here. So let's put an edge loop over here, scale it down quite a bit, and bevel it. That's good. Here we're gonna have our little braid that we had. So where's our braid? That's our braid. Duplicate. Right around here. Something like that. And from here we have a little offset. This like that, and bevel this part over here. Doesn't seem, it has a small bevel over here. All right. So from here, I'm gonna assign polygroups to hold the whole thing. Polygroup, polyloop. That's that. So this part is pretty straight, so we're gonna keep it as it is. So this one over here is individual. I think we're good with that. Increase the whole thing. Dynamic. Increase this and this. Looks pretty good, pretty good. Add a little edge loop over here. And scale this part over here. can feel the little bump. This one we... Oh, what happened over here? Oh, okay, it's just smaller than the handle, so let's just shrink the handle a bit. And I feel actually like this one, this green one, this red one should be green actually. And let's remove this crease. And voila. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Alright. That's pretty good so far. So let's try to see it with our character. So merge visible. And we're gonna go back to our character. Append our new hammer. Cat! Dylan with the cat. What's poppin'? How's it going, Dylan? I think it's a bit too high right now. So it's a good thing we're checking out the scale. Something like that. We don't want to hide the face, so we're gonna have to scooch the bottom part lower, because I kind of want this scale. Yeah, so we need to move it about. Let's look at the lines. So 1, 2, 3, 3 lines. Let's pop the champagne. En forme? Yes, sir! On est en forme. Toi? Ouais. Le champagne, on va attendre, on va attendre. À moins que tu as une raison pour pop le champagne. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Dans. Oui. Oui, oui, oui. Toujours mon homme. That's it, that's it. Alright, so this goes over here. Let's move the whole thing. Yep, let's move the whole thing. Should be around here. And this one goes like that, right? Yeah, it will feel a bit shorter on the handle, but should be cool. Worst case scenario, what we can do is we grab these ones. Let's go to our base over here and just scale it down. Now I have this one over here. Yeah, that's the duplicated one. So, oh, just realized we moved the duplicated one. So this one goes somewhere else. And these ones goes over here. On parle à Québec. Pas grand chose à aller voir au Québec. Hein, je suis pas mal motivé à finir le projet. Peut-être après. Here we go. I think something like that should be cool. And this is the top part. Est-ce que toi tu pars à Québec bientôt, Dylan? This one over here. T'es en train de mobiliser une pioche de lait pour grain intensif. Oui. Oui. Non, en fait, on est en train de faire un hammer pour notre personnage juste ici. Donc, personnage qui va tenir le hammer et qui est la statue et la pièce de la tour en français et le rook en anglais. Non, mais non, wesh. Ben, je te souhaite. Je te souhaite. Je sais pas si ça fait longtemps que t'as pas pris des vacances, là. Je sais que les derniers temps, t'avais des gros projets, là. Mais j'étais proche. Ah, ok. Ouais, ouais, t'étais proche avec la pioche de lait pour grain dans ça. Alright, so something like that. I think we had no choice to squish it. Otherwise it wouldn't fit well with the character. So let's try it again. Merge visible. And now we're gonna put our other hammer. $180. A bit smaller, just a bit, not too much. But I think we have something very nice. You know, maybe instead of the pose being like this, because he's gonna be on close to the edge of the bottom part, might be something like both hands on top of the piece. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Ça a l'air de balader de ton bord. Moi, je work trop pour ce que ça rapporte. Ben, c'est le début. Ouais, c'est ça. C'est toujours le début. Ça va scale. Et même chose de mon côté aussi. Ça va scale. T'en fais pas. Faut toujours continuer à mettre des efforts. Puis, à un moment donné, ça pogne. Dommage que les commentaires vocaux n'existent pas. Mais je pense que c'est bien. Je pense que c'est bien qu'il n'y ait pas de commentaires vocaux. Des fois ça peut être rough, hein, il y a peut-être quelqu'un qui passe un aspirateur pendant qu'il fait un message vocal, puis là, c'est bruyant, puis tout plein d'affaires, fait que... Des fois, c'est peut-être mieux comme ça. En même temps aussi, c'est rough pour moi, imagine qu'il y a 1 million de personnes qui envoient leur message vocaux puis c'est instantané. Bon, peut-être un que tu peux cliquer puis ça ouvre, mais ça serait long d'aller dans le chat, cliquer, écouter, puis tout. Tandis que là, c'est plus facile de les lire. Puis... tu manques de quoi? Peinture, ouais. Ben, c'est sûr. C'est ça, comme je te dis. Ça peut être cool, comme ça peut être un peu overwhelming. Des fois, 1 million de messages vocaux, ça peut être rough pendant le stream. I think so. We're gonna do this part over here, and then we're gonna leave this design alone. And we're gonna go with some wrapping similar to this one. Or similar to... similar to this one. I think it's pretty much the same wrapping, so... We're gonna go with something like that, I think. Yep. Let's go back to our hammer. Scandale, mon cher, il n'existe pas d'émoticône pour le REM. Oh non! For real? Oops. That's not what I wanted. Ah, ben, il y a ça. Hein? What's ça? Ouh, je viens d'avoir la vision pour la création. C'est fort et très fort. Thanks. Merci, merci. Alright, so as we can see over here, it has little bumps inside, so like little divot points. We can do that pretty easily. And this one is pretty simple, so let's grab it, duplicate, go in the middle, and just scale it down. Scale the thickness, scale it down. Just a tad. And this one, we actually already have the pieces, so we need our braid again, duplicate it. And we just need to move it into position, like that. And like that. And what we can't do, because they look bigger, yeah, they look bigger than these ones. So we're gonna inflate them quite a bit. Like that. And these ones, we're gonna group by normal, crease, dynamic, and bada bing bada boom. We're pretty much done. The only thing we're missing is the little divots. So that's pretty easy. We'll go over here, activate symmetry, and go radical symmetry? Radical or radial? Radial symmetry. Alright, so here what we're gonna want is radial on the Z, no, on the Y. Yep. I'm just gonna remove the Z. There we go. REM comme dans le réseau express métropolitain. By the way, nous en fait. Ok, oui, parce que bien sûr, c'est la première chose qui me vient en tête avec le REM. Hein. Alright, so you see, let's subdivide. So here, kind of looks like it has, it looks like 10. So let's increase our radial count to 10. And what we can do actually is go to standard, go drag, and we're gonna go with something like that. We'll go close to the center and just drag it. Let's go once again, maybe a last time, and that's it. Pretty easy. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done. One last thing we can do is mask this part over here. Revert the mask and inflate inwards. Same on this part over here. Revert the mask and inflate inward. That way we have that little separation, and from afar we can see there's a little work done on the hammer. All right, so I think that's good for the handle, and let's do some straps. Straps are super easy. There is the fast way, so you slice curve once, twice, thrice, fourth, six. Yeah. You put a bunch of colors. And then you go geometry, no polish, no loops, no bevel, and you go 0.5 from let's go higher, so 0.1 maybe, even further than that, so let's go 1, and 0.5. Yeah, I think we're good with 0.5. Ah, si tu pouvais vivre dans un monde que tu as créé, tu survivrais combien de jours, honnêtement? Ouf. Si je nais dans une forêt, un jour. Sinon, ben sûr. Si on s'entend, si c'est un monde comme celui-ci, puis je suis un nain qui fait partie de l'armée du royaume, s'il n'y a pas de guerre, un mois? Ça dépend. Mais c'est sûr que les mondes que je crée sont assez dangereux. Fait que je pense pas que je vais toffer bien longtemps. À moins que j'ai un training là, dans ce scénario. Mais pense pas. Pense pas. Alright, so here. Just see over here what we have. Okay. So here we're gonna go group by normals again. And we're actually gonna subdivide. Group by normals, grow the mask. And from here, wait a second. Alright, so we separate everything, and before doing the panel loops, actually we need to zero mesh the whole thing. And we can keep the smooth, and we can half. We have this part over here. And now from there we can do our panel loops. Then group by normal. Then subdivide. And then mask by groups and grow the mask. Grow the mask again. Revert. And if we increase inflate, we have some little straps. We can inflate a bit more. Now remember, this thing is gonna be a statue, so it should be stone. But I still want to kind of read the fact that it was leather, so probably the carver, the one who carved the statue, wants the same kind of conveying material. But we're not going to put like some leather texture on that. Something like that. Et toi, Dylan, si tu pouvais vivre dans un monde que tu crées, combien de jours tu penses que tu sauves? Alright, so here you need to work on the head of the hammer. So let's find something in our reference. Like I said, I kind of wanted this little circle around here. C'est ton impression rate, on appelle ça une version artistique où on peut... Ouf, j'ai de la grosse misère à comprendre la question. C'est ton impression rate, on appelle ça... Ah, ok, 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 là je comprends. Ton impression rate, on appelle ça une version artistique ou on pleure. On pleure parce que la vision artistique est déjà faite. Puis généralement, quand une impression rate, ça se voit que c'est un défaut. C'est pas un accident. Par exemple, ici, ça c'est notre pion. De loin, il a l'air correct. Sauf que cette partie-là, là, ici, on voit clairement qu'il n'y a pas de bras. Fait que t'as bien beau essayer de dire que non, non, c'est voulu. Non, c'est pas voulu. Hein? Fait que c'est ça. Maintenant, il m'arrive des petits accidents pendant la conception. Et ça, c'est correct. Ça fait... Faut rester ouvert là-dessus. Mais à part ça... Donc, côté impression, là, si mon impression rate, c'est parce que c'est un défaut. T'sais. Si mon impression rate, si je peux vous montrer un petit exemple... On va aller chercher dans la petite poubelle. Je ne pas, c'est juste du plastique. L'impression qui rate, ça ressemble à ça. On voit à peine parce que c'est noir, là, mais il y a du filament partout ou, comme j'ai montré avec la résine, c'est des défauts. Fait que, ouais, ça, c'est pas artistique, c'est un échou, c'est tout. Alright, donc, let's do a little bit of work on the head, and I just had a little glimpse of an idea. Might be cool to have this and kind of mix of this, and let's do actually a skull. Yeah, let's do a skull. Let's try a skull. So let's bring in a sphere. Let's bring in a sphere. And on this sphere, we're gonna add a little cylinder, mirror and weld to make sure that it's symmetrical. And here I'm gonna dynamesh the whole thing. Yep, okay, so we're good. Now we're gonna need some reference of skulls. Concept art. I do know how a skull looks like, but it's interesting to have some different types of skull. So it could be cool to have something like this. So let's try. Let's see what we can do. This part over here, already we're gonna have to scale it up. And now I'm gonna go a bit freestyle and a bit fast. So I'm sorry for your eyes if you're confused. But I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as I can. So the skull has this little goes a bit flat on the side. On this reference you have kind of a S shape like this. Est-ce que tu as déjà eu des problèmes où la complexité de ton maillage crée des incohérences entre la simulation numérique et le comportement réel après extrusion avec des variances de refroidi? Hein? Où c'est que tu vas chercher ces questions-là, Dylan? C'est ChatGPT? Est-ce que tu vas chercher ça sur ChatGPT puis... Je pense que ça veut littéralement rien dire ta question. Oh boy. Ouais. T'as déjà eu des problèmes où la complicité de ton maître était cohérence entre les... Non, mais je m'informe un peu. Il y a eu un truc du genre. Ok. Dans ce cas-là, peux-tu me reformuler ta question? Parce que je la comprends pas, pantoute. Et je te dis, hein?
I could never serve the passion or the fire or the man or for sight how I am. Ain't nobody asking, I've been basking in my liberty, cause slavery is real. Doesn't mean the shackles gotta be revealed. Fighting with my pen, that's the closest thing to steal, and it's what they wanna steal. There's value in the word, gotta figure out the real. We're juggling and wrestling thoughts in my mind. The influence was heavy, or the thoughts even mine. Label still persuading that I'm needing a dime. That my people ain't be dying over gold in the mines. It's funny, right? I'm still numb to the trauma. I couldn't tell if my joy was out of love or what would haunt me when I needed me a hug. That's the realest. Yeah, it's the closest thing to feeling. Yeah, it's the only thing revealing. Trying to get me closer to the Lord, cause maybe he can open up some doors while these words get to show you all my flaws. It's poetry and pain, blessing in the chain, pictures I could paint. Yeah, it's poetry and pain, blessings in the chain, pictures I could paint.
Okay, so we're starting to do the little skull over here. Try to make it fit on the hammer. We'll see if it fits. Ok, so Dylan, c'est pas en écrivant la question en espagnol que je vais plus comprendre. Okay. Eh boy. J'ai des plus simples, mais je veux pas déconcentrer le work. Ouais, ça. Écoute, hein? Comme t'es là, vas-y fort. Juste faire attention. Est-ce que tu continues dans ton workflow comme déterministe ou émergent quand tu intègres des variables d'impression comme la topologie, température et contrainte? Ce qui est intéressant là, dans tes questions, Dylan, c'est que ça mixe 1 million de cossins qui sont pas pantoute rapport ensemble. Fait que ça me dit que tu probablement es en train d'écrire ça sur ChatGPT ou sur un autre module de questions. Mais celle-là, je peux un peu répondre. Donc, est-ce que tu considères que ton workflow comme déterministe ou émergent quand tu t'intègres toutes les variables d'impression comme la topologie, la température et les contraintes physiques? Ok, donc si c'est émergent, oui, par rapport à ici, au Canada, Québec. Donc c'est un sujet c'est un domaine qui est pas très exploité, et d'où la raison pourquoi je veux le faire, parce que c'est quelque chose qui me passionne. Et ça me donne aussi l'opportunité de grandir ici. Maintenant, ensuite, des variables d'impression comme la topologie. La topologie n'a aucun lien avec l'impression. La température, oui. La température a eu beaucoup de difficultés avec les impressions. Euh, et les contraintes physiques. Oui, les contraintes physiques. Donc, le fait que c'est toxique, c'est un peu dangereux de travailler dans mon bureau, mais c'est des choses que je dois faire pour voir si ça fonctionne bien. Mais on s'assure que c'est sécuritaire puis que on puisse le faire comme il faut. Celle-là est simple, come on. On dit cher. Ouais. La question est simple, c'est juste, ça a il y a des sujets qui sont pas censés être dans cette question. Right, something like that, something like that. Aime le parle français. Yes sir, yes sir. J'aime ton accent. Merci. Hey, damn, le gars parle français. Wait, this is a bilingual channel. I spoke main English. Yeah, I spoke main French, but I want to make this channel a bit more international, so I speak English. And it looks good, by the way, Scary. Thank you. J'espère que ça répond à ta question, Dylan. Et si oui, pourquoi pas pentalingue? Je suis seulement trilingue, donc ça va être pas mal juste trilingue et bilingue en fait. Et moi j'ai une question pour toi, Dylan. Comment ça se passe tes projets? Et j'ai une question aussi pour toi, Marianne. Comment ça se passe? Comment ça va? Merci d'être là pour le stream. Je reviens toutes les semaines, back à back, et j'apprécie ça énormément. Ben oui, je me sens mieux tout d'un coup. Je pensais que non, absorption. Je suis content. Je suis content que le fait que euh, t'as pas eu ton tricycle jaune à 2 ans a pas affecté le reste de ta vie. Euh, ouais, et ma question, ma question était comment ça avance tes projets? Oh boy. On va faire économiser des économies de en pédiatrie. Ok. Je sais pas comment j'ai fait ça, mais ok. Let's reduce the subdivision over here. So I know this skull is pretty not ugly, but I mean in the starting phase. I'm gonna say trying to give myself a little bit of credit over here. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to wait on the progress later on this week. Because we're close to 2 o'clock, and I like to end the stream on 2 o'clock. Allows me to have a little break and also focus on other stuff that I have to do today. So let's see if this skull fits the hammer. If we put it over here, kind of increase the whole thing. Yeah, I think we can have something interesting. Kind of looks like, oh, on one side it's the devil, and on the other side you have the ram. So it could be cool. Could be something interesting. A little sketch over here. Now let's see what we have if we have everything merged together with our hammer. Just a bit smaller. Don't want to hide too much of the face. Oh. Yeah, so it could look like very nice. Very, very nice. And here, if we want, we can even apply the stone texture that we have. I think it'll look very nice. What do you think? J'ai hâte de step up à nouveau, you know, mais déjà là je sens m'adapter parce que honnêtement j'ai fait rien d'autre depuis des semaines, mais toujours des avancements, toujours de développer, toujours de développer ici. Ouais, je comprends. Qu'est-ce qui t'empêche de développer ici par contre? Looks good, thank you, Crypto Kid. So, really like the way it's going on. We're gonna add some details on the head of the hammer also. Feel like the rams are a bit too. Now the fact that the skull is there, it feels like the focus is on the skull and less on the ram, and I kind of want the opposite. Looks good. Thank you so much. So I think we're gonna have some more details on the hammer. Any comments? Ah, de développer ici. Ok, ok, je comprends. Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much it for today's stream. I had a wonderful time. Thank you, Dylan, for the entertaining question and Crypto Kid and all the comments from all of you guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I know it was a blast for me. Always happy to see you guys every week. Got the same at home, just saying. Oh, really? Okay, okay. So let's save this and let you guys on the little. Let's see if I can, without too much lag. Let's let it turn. There you go. So thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you coming in. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know how you thought about the stream. And if it's not already done, oh, sorry, the opposite. Follow me on my socials and share so everybody can see. I hope you have a great day. Thank you, Soma. Bye. Have a great day. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for you for being here. And I'm gonna wish you all a great weekend. And I'll see you next week. Love you.